Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the HGO podcast. My name is Kyle, and as always, I'm joined by my good buddy Hunter. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
Yeah, just us two again this week. Ethan came here for his 1 week obligation while on vacation, and
Now he's at war with the alligator people.
they didn't take kindly to him using up all the Wi-Fi in the hotel room.
Yes. They were responsible for last week's myriad of sabotages.
Uh, Dude, I'm really glad that episode turned out well. I didn't edit out any of those cuts or any of those drops that he had, but yeah, a lot of
Oh,
people still
nice.
showed up for that episode. So thank you all for the support on that one. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh, this week, however, um, forget everything we said we were going to talk about at the end of last episode because there was a Nintendo Direct and a Sony State of Play this week on the same day
For
once
the
again.
for the second year in a row they've done this. What's their problem?
I don't know, but it makes things easy for us.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of just getting these two together instead of making it two separate videos. That's just me, though.
I guess it would depend because this particular time, yeah, because we've got plenty of games that are about to hit, and we'll have plenty of things to already be able to talk about.
Oh,
Spreading
yeah.
them out in other instances where, hey, maybe the next week we would also need something to talk about.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is kind of funny to think that we have a backlog of topics to talk about now.
yeah.
But yeah. So, Nintendo Direct, Sony State of Play, going to be talking all about those. Those are likely going to be the only two topics this week. So, stay tuned for all of that, for all of our thoughts and opinions on both of those. But yeah, as always, this is the HGO podcast. Come to you every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK time. You can find us on podcast services as well as on YouTube, youtube.com/hotgamersonly, if you want to look at our stupid faces every week. I remembered to do the spiel this time.
I'm pretty sure there was at least one instance in these past 3 weeks where I just did that to the audio of
You
nothing,
probably did.
just seemingly unprovoked.
I don't even blame you, man. It's part of the brand at this point.
Yeah.
Housekeeping. I don't think there's any housekeeping. Um, other than
Not currently, but in a week or two, there will be an AK Zalotl review coming.
nice, yeah, because that game came out this week.
It
That was
sure
one of our
did.
planned
And I was given a
topics,
code
and
by the
yeah,
and I was given a code by the nice people at the Two Awesome Studio and Playstack. I don't know
nice.
which one exactly was doing what, but I was given a review code, and thus now I'm obligated to make this review,
uh, but yeah, so
which I
expect
was
that.
probably do
eh,
anyway.
Yeah, so expect that review coming up in the next couple of weeks, probably. And other than that, we are trying to push towards 300 subs by the end of the year. I think we're 15 off at this point. So,
Yep, we're currently at 285.
yeah, so if y'all could swing over to the YouTube channel, hit us with a subscribe button. That would be fantastic. I don't know if we have anything planned for 300 yet, but
We have to make good
Ethan
on the
might have
pieces that
something.
we
I don't
do
know.
before.
uh, but yeah. Anyways, so let's just get right into it. Nintendo Direct Nintendo was on September 14th. I watched
Yep.
this while I was at work, watched it on mute. Hunter, what
I
about
also
you?
watched it while I was at work. While I was at work, I had the audio on though.
Mm, yeah, I also didn't go back and rewatch anything from it.
I
I
did not do that either.
I don't,
Diligence.
diligence. Was able to find lists that people compiled of all of the topics that were discussed in the or all the games that were announced slash talked about in this. So thank you to the kind people who compiled all of these for us. That was very helpful for my job. Anyways, kicking off that Nintendo Direct was Splatoon 3's DLC, The Side Order.
Yeah, this one. I feel like these Splatoon like DLC videos for the past couple of times they've shown them have taken forever to actually get to the point.
Yeah, they definitely do take a
Like
lot of
this one
build
was
up.
pretty like yeah, this one took a minute or two to just like for me to be like, okay, what are they actually doing yet? Because like I said, I was at work while I was watching this, and I kind of just walked away from the range of my Bluetooth for a minute and came back, and it was still on Splatoon. I'm like, okay.
And I think the worst part about Splatoon trailers is that, like, right off the bat, you know it is Splatoon. There's no other game with an art style like that Nintendo has. But then it always just takes
Or
forever to
quite.
get to the point.
It also has a very distinct kind of sound font to it as well.
Yeah.
Where as soon as whether you see it first or hear it first, you'll know it's Splatoon.
Mm.
But as far as the actual content of the trailer, it was seems to be. They didn't say the words roguelike, but it sure sounds like a roguelike
Mm.
with this tower that you're supposed to play over and over. With the myriad of whatever mechanics they're introducing. I don't suspect I'll be picking this up.
I probably won't be either. I haven't touched Splatoon 3 in well over a year. Pretty much after the first little wave of the battle pass. That's I cleared that and then I just kind of checked out. But
Yeah, that was about my process with it too. I think I checked out like another Splatfest or two after that, but I haven't really played it since. So my time with Splatoon 3 is done.
yeah.
Most likely, for the most part.
But yeah, so Side Order is going to be coming out spring of 2024. I don't think they had a date put to that yet, but yeah. Good for all the Splatoon fans. Next up, Mario versus Donkey
Sure are
Kong.
a lot of them.
There are. Next up, Mario versus Donkey Kong is getting a remake. Hunter?
Did you ever play the original one?
I did not. I haven't played any of them.
Neither have I, but I kind of. Yeah, at first I wasn't sure if it was a remake or if they were just doing another one and calling it just Mario versus Donkey Kong again. But it seems to indeed be a remake, which is, I don't know, cool, I guess. I've never played. I might be willing to try. I kind of like the idea of the puzzle-based platformy stuff.
Yeah. It's always looked like a cool concept.
Mario.
Yeah, I don't think we really have a lot to say on this one.
No, not a whole lot there. I'd be interested to try it. February.
Yeah, February 16th.
Not a great time for it to come out.
As we learn later, yeah. That's wedged right between P3 remake and FF7 Part 2. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate for that one, but yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure it won't really hurt this game in much of a tangible way.
Right.
Since Mario seems to just overrule things anyway.
Next was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This was looking kind of like a 2D, like a side scroller Metroidvania kind of game.
Yeah. They showed this off. This has been shown off before, and I thought it looked really cool there too. So I'm still quite interested in seeing this game once it comes out. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever played a Prince of Persia before?
I played Sands of Time on the PS2 and never really got my hands on the other ones in the series. And then, despite that, Prince of Persia, I'm willing to say, is the best thing Ubisoft has ever done.
Better than Rayman?
I think so. I like it a little bit more, but that's just me.
That's
It's
fair.
definitely better. It's better than their modern catalog.
Well, anything's better than that.
That's true.
You mean you don't like Just
But yeah,
Dance
I'm
and the
not a big
Rabbids
fan. Well,
and
it's not
15
even my
Assassin's
beef.
Creed games?
Yeah, yeah, now we're getting there. I was gonna say, but Just Dance, despite the fact that I don't care about it, isn't really my beef with Ubisoft. It's more of the Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, occasional live service shooter thing that they just
Mm.
can't stop regurgitating.
Yeah,
But
Prince of
yeah, this
Persia.
Prince of Persia game looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Prince of Persia is always one of those series it's just slipped by me. I've never had a chance to play it, but this one looked interesting. I'd be down to try it.
Yeah.
Releasing middle of January. Almost said June. Middle of January.
I think it was a pretty decent slot for it too, because
Yeah.
people always got the new year, don't care about anything that came out last year anymore kind of mentality.
Mm.
So sliding into a early spot when nothing else might be out is a solid move, since also otherwise it might be prone to those people being like, oh, it's a 2D game, as people are wont to do sometimes,
Mm.
mostly due to lack of brain cells.
Yeah, those people aren't worth talking to.
Remember when they tried saying that Metroid wasn't worth $60 because it was 2D? Idiots, all of them. How dare you disgrace my hard work like that?
All right. After that, Horizon Chase. Hunter, do you remember what this was?
That was the racing game, I think.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know quite exactly. I checked out when
Yeah.
it showed cars.
Yeah, me
So
too.
it was out the same day,
It
so you
was,
could play
yeah.
it as you're listening to this if you were interested in it.
Maybe you're playing it while you're listening to this. In which case,
If you are.
sorry we can't talk about it more.
If you are, leave a comment that says vroom vroom.
Well, please do that. That'd be so funny. Dude, I wish you could leave reviews on Spotify. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
more
that'd
than
be
just
funny.
the star reviews.
Yeah.
Just like leave a review on this episode. Vroom vroom.
That'd be good.
Super Crazy Rhythm Castle was the next game.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't remember a thing about
Nope.
this one.
Nope.
I might not have looked. I might not have even looked up or looked down at my screen while this was happening.
Oh yeah.
So
Same.
I've got zero comment on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a
Due
decent enough game.
diligence.
It could probably. It could be cool. It could be silly. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
It's coming out in like the middle of November.
Oh, that's like still this year. Wow.
Correct, Hunter. November is this year. After that, Spy Family Anya. Operation Memories.
You watched Spy Family, didn't you?
Yeah, and Anya was like the least interesting character you could make a game around.
So this didn't do it for you then, huh?
I mean, it also just looked like shovelware.
Well,
Like
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I enjoy the pun. Spy Anya.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Good job. I didn't even commit the girl's name to memory when Spy Family blew up last year, so it didn't really register to me until I heard it a couple of days ago, but I'm like, that's perfect. Good job.
But yeah, I think this was like some kind of life sim game where you play as Anya. At least that's how it seemed from the trailer. I should mention I watched this whole direct without audio because I was at work and didn't have headphones. So
Yeah, it seemed like some kind of variety life sim kind of
yeah.
game. While it was being shown off there, I was only kind of half paying attention because I haven't seen Spy Family, but
It's a good show.
Yeah,
I
so
I enjoyed the show.
I guess maybe check it out if you really like the show. Um, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the general vibe of this direct was just, I don't know, seems all right.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of it later, but a lot of this direct seems to be screaming. I know we say this every time there's a Nintendo Direct, but this one for real felt like okay, the Switch is at the end of its life now.
We do say that, or most people tend to say have been saying that for like the past 7 directs, and there's part of me that thinks it would be hilarious if we went into like, it's 2055. We but we all have spinal problems or are possibly in the ground by now. Um,
You think
and
the
then
Nintendo Switch is gonna outlive us, Hunter?
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's been retooled and integrated into like I don't know part of our cyberpunk like body modifications, along with laser teeth.
Ooh, laser teeth.
Would be great.
Oh, it must be fun to live in your mind. Either really fun or really scary, one or the other.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun for me. It might be scary for other people.
Like, you ever have those times
Like
where
I
you're
don't
like,
know.
I wonder what it's like to be inside that person's brain?
Uh,
Sometimes I wonder that with you.
uh, well,
Anyways, Super Mario RPG Remake. This game's looking real
this
good. I'm
yeah, this
super
is gonna look
excited for
super
this
neat.
game.
Yeah. And what was it? One of the things they said is you can toggle the soundtrack to be the newer version or the old version, which
Hmm.
good move. It's always been a point of contention sometimes for uh these remakes and stuff when they remake the soundtrack and some songs are worse.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the remade Crash Bandicoot soundtracks weren't as good. They took a lot of the oomph out of some of the stuff. Like I think the
Yeah.
sewer theme in 2's remake sucks. um, uh, I have a friend who has a tremendous amount of beef with the Kingdom Hearts
Yep.
1.5 and 2.5 soundtracks.
So do
So
I, dude.
having just the toggleable OST is nice.
Yeah, that's a really nice
I wish
feature.
more remakes would do that.
Mm. Another cool thing they announced for this, as like post game stuff, was rematching bosses, which it's neat.
Oh
It's a neat
yeah,
little idea, especially since the first game or the original didn't have any kind of post game. The game didn't even continue after the credits. It just froze on the end screen because it was
oh, yeah.
1992.
That is the Super Nintendo way. It was the end until you turn it off.
Legit though. That yeah, pretty much every game from that era.
Do you think they throw in an extra super boss in that boss gauntlet in the post game?
I think
Do you think they get um, bold?
I think that'd be a really cool idea. I don't know what they could pull from because the original had Culex, which was a wholly original character to that.
Yeah,
I don't. If they want to pull like a big Final Fantasy boss, that'd be cool.
let me fight Kefka.
Oh, that'd be rad. Or like,
It'd be thematically appropriate.
uh, yeah, that game's out November 17th. I'm super looking forward to that game. I loved the original SMRPG. I played it again
Man,
last year, and I think the original still holds up very well.
November 17th is just a stacked day in general. In video games, it's got that and the Persona Tactics game. If you're
Hmm.
looking for something to watch, that Scott Pilgrim show comes out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
forgot
looks
about
like it'll be
that.
cool.
That's cool. In Scott Pilgrim, how they got all the original cast back to do the voiceover work.
Yeah,
I thought
it
that was
still looks
super
like
cool.
the art from like the comics and the game and whatnot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked super cool. I feel like I need to watch the movie again. Because I watched that
Oh,
like
it's been
when it came
years since
out,
I've
and then I
seen the
never
movie.
watched it again.
Yeah.
Ugh. But that's for another time. We're not here to talk about Scott Pilgrim, unfortunately. We're here to talk about some random DS game that no one's ever heard of. Another Code, Two Memories.
So I have not heard of this before, but yeah, it seems interesting. I'm willing to check this out. It's it's got the potentially depressing story game vibes that's I live for.
Mm. Yeah, so that and the original game from the Nintendo DS are both coming up onto the Switch, which is cool. I like, good game preservation, especially for
I do
something that
enjoy
I
when
feel
that
like,
happens.
yeah, especially for something I feel like went kind of under the radar for a lot of people back then.
Yeah, yeah. Like I had never heard of this. I'd
Me
never heard of
either.
anyone who has heard of this. To be fair, that's not a very wide net that I'm casting there, but
Yeah, but I mean,
still.
even with like the more niche things like Ghost Trick, for example, I'd at least heard of that before it got its remake or
Yeah, yeah,
re-release. That I couldn't tell you anything about Another Code. After
yeah.
that, Princess Peach Showtime. This is that
Now
Peach
this
game.
game looks neat.
It does. It looks a lot more interesting than it did on its first showing back in June.
Oh yeah, look at Peach. What's she doing over there? And now
What?
we get to see what she's doing over there.
What the dog doing?
And I think it does look pretty cool. Like I'm not really sure everything that's going down there right now, but a lot of it seems cool.
Mm,
I like the weird stage play presentation. That kind of reminded me of Puppeteer, the PS3 game. The puppet presented itself like a puppet show. I like that. I think that's cool. I like goofy presentation like that. The myriad of different stuff that she's able to do will be interesting. And the worst case scenario for this game would have been if it was just a 2D platformer where you play as Peach.
yeah.
So I'm glad that that's not what this is.
Mm, yeah.
I
Game.
think this has the potential next year to be kind of like how Kirby and the Forgotten Land was last year, where
Hmm.
it's the one that all the Nintendo fans kind of gravitate towards when they don't got the Mario or the Zelda to, salivate over.
If you're doing your own fantasy league, this is the secret top tier pick. Maybe just keep it in your
Yeah,
pocket for like fifth round.
yeah.
Yeah, that game, and that'll be out near the end of March next year. Okay, Saga Emerald Beyond, release date 2024. I think this was also where I
So,
was starting to check out a little bit.
so Saga, I'm not familiar with at all. I've read the name of Saga Frontiers like 7 million times while browsing video game stores,
Hmm.
but I don't know if I've ever actually clicked on it. And if I did, I didn't commit what I was seeing to memory. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
but
pretty much same
I'm
boat. I've heard the
big
name,
fans of
but I
the
couldn't
series.
I couldn't tell anything about it.
Yeah,
I think it's some JRPG that was popular in Japan and didn't. I don't think it really came to the West, or did at least didn't have the the biggest impact in the West like other JRPGs did.
yeah.
Not like a Dragon Quest or a Final Fantasy.
Nah, but I'm sure it might be cool for the people who like the Saga games, at least. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe we could try it out.
That's also possible.
We'll need to
Maybe I'll
see.
try out the other one.
Yeah, we'll need to see how 2024 lies. After that, Tomb Raider 1 and 3 remaster releasing on
I like how
Valentine's
the
Day.
Switch, in the final throes of its life, seemingly, is not only copying things from Nintendo's years past, but is now just also stealing the legacy of the PS1. It's getting the Metal Gear collection later this year. It's taken Tomb Raider. It's got the Crash and Spyro remakes. You can play the Final Fantasy PS1 games on it.
No, you could. That is actually really funny. Yeah, this was a really out of left field thing to show.
Like the next direct, they're gonna have like the OG versions of Resident Evil 1 through 3. There's a collection on the Switch. At this rate, I can feel it. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who was asking for Tomb Raider to be remastered, but I'm happy for
Well,
you.
I mean, I guess it's a good way to,
Why not?
especially in game preservation and all that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Crystal Dynamics is now under the nebulous thumb of THQ Nordic.
Oh.
One of the other people above one of that umbrella. I don't remember specifically which one anymore because that's confusing, but that's where Crystal Dynamics went after Square sold them. So get that out while you can, because anyone under that scares me. For their future.
Yeah. So Tomb Raider 1 and 3 remaster, February 14th of next year. After that, Detective Pikachu returns, October 6th. I don't have anything on this. I didn't play the first one.
I didn't play the first one. Seeing that Pokemon's whole thing seems to be dumbing it down for a younger audience, I'm sure that even if it is a mystery game, I probably wouldn't jive with this one because it might be a little too easy.
Yeah.
And like, that's not a great thing when I'm sitting there being like, it's going to be this and this is why, probably in the first few hours.
Yeah. And like, also the first one wasn't really received too well. I think it's got like a low 70 we looked at on OpenCritic or Metacritic or whatever we looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People liked the movie, but that's unrelated.
I didn't watch the movie either.
When are they going to make the second movie, I wonder?
Good question. Also, this wasn't in the direct, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, their first wave of DLC came out earlier this week, and the second wave is coming out sometime in the future. Those were just kind of footnotes at the end of the direct. But I don't know why they didn't just be like, hey, these are out, by the way. And the other one's coming at the end of the year. Anyways. After that, while Hunter fiddles with something out of camera, I think it's a dog. Oh, he took his headphones off. I think it's two dogs. Wow. What a day. What a great day. Trombone Champ. I have nothing to say about Trombone Champ. It's a Switch game. Now, you could have been playing it for like over a year now, I think. I don't know. This was a popular game for like 2 weeks and then I never heard about it again. Hunter, what are your thoughts on Trombone Champ?
Oh yeah, that one was silly and went semi-viral for a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Anything insightful to say?
no, I never played the trombone,
Me either.
so
Yeah, me either.
Does it have like a custom song thing you can do? 'Cause
I
can
have
imagine
no idea.
I imagine maybe you could make something silly out of if you really tried.
But yeah, that came out would have been when the direct happened. So, Battle Crush.
Yeah.
Hunter, do you remember
Battle
what this
Crush.
is?
No idea. I think there was
Epic.
a free to play thing that This might have been a free to play thing, especially if it was out today. Um, that I
No,
definitely
no, it's out
checked
in
out.
2024.
Oh, was that okay? Whatever. I don't
I don't
remember
know.
this. It might not be free to play. It might be free to play. I don't know. I know there was one free to play thing that I checked out of.
I I think I know what you're talking about because I think I checked out around the same time. Where was I on that list? Battle Crush,
The
War
next one's
Tales,
War Tales.
War Tales. Hunter, what was this?
I think okay, so
Was this the free to play thing that
again,
we checked out on?
it could have been, or this was potentially there was a kind of like you play as this mercenary guy going around collecting people for your army.
Oh, maybe
And
that's what it was.
yeah,
I don't
it didn't
remember.
exactly. The one I was just describing didn't exactly jump out to me, so I was
Mm.
like, didn't commit it to memory. War Tales sounds like that would be what it's called.
Yeah, but also, who knows anymore?
Yeah,
Next up, Contra Operation Galaga remake. Contra's
you ever
neat.
play Contra?
I played the Super Nintendo one for a little bit because it's on the SNES Classic, and I'm like, well, I bought this thing, might as well try it.
I
It was
think I
fun.
goofed off with one of them for a little bit, but it also wasn't the one that had the you're jumping on the missiles while it shoots at the whatever it is.
Oh
So I was
yeah,
like, I don't care because that's the thing I know Contra for. And
that's
when
the
I
Super
turned on the
Nintendo one.
game,
Yeah, Super C.
and when I turned on the game, and that's not what it gave me, I'm like, well, bye.
You know that's not until like the end of Super C, right? Or is it Contra
Oh,
3? I think it's Contra 3 actually.
well,
I don't remember.
I guess I'll apply the same criticism that I apply to Kirby, where if they start with the interesting part, maybe I'd be more interested in it. In it.
uh, yeah, and that'll be out spring of 2024. Next up, game with a very strange name that has nothing to do with with what the actual game is about. Unicorn War Overlord, not Warlord, Overlord.
This was the Vanillaware game. I looked I heard the narration for like a solid minute, then I looked down, I'm like, oh, that's the Aegis Rim people's art. And lo and
Oh,
behold, it was Vanillaware. I'm like, I'm suddenly interested in this. Whatever the exposition was going on in the auditory department there, wasn't really jumping out to me, but I
mm,
liked Aegis Rim a lot, and their art style is rad, so I'll
it
be
is
down
really
to
good art.
try this out.
Yeah, from what I saw of the trailer, it did look pretty interesting. I'll probably be checking it out when it comes out. Looked neat. Available March 8th of 2024. And
I might
rounding.
wait until maybe after it comes out because March 8th is going to be
Oh yeah,
shortly after the double header month of two massive RPGs. This is probably another RPG. I'll
yeah,
give that some time to breathe.
yeah.
Come back to it in the summer or something.
See when the year quiets down a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, rounding out the first half, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is getting a remake slash re-release on the Nintendo Switch.
They call it Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, I'm not choosing to follow that erasure.
Get Europe, idiots.
I will not be Europed. Anyways, it's Luigi's Mansion. We'd have Hunter. You ever play Luigi's Mansion?
I haven't. I wish this was the first one that they were giving
Yeah,
us instead because I'm vaguely interested in the first one. I don't really care about the DS one. I'm not really sure what the disconnect here is, but
it
yeah.
does seem weird that they're not putting the first one on Switch. Because I
And
saw,
like I had every intention of playing 3 when that came out a few years ago, but that also came out when I didn't really have any money at the time, so I never went back to play it.
yeah, and they also screwed up the release date on this. Halloween's right around the corner, and they're releasing it summer 2024.
Ah.
You had one
Well,
job, Nintendo. One job.
well,
Release a spooky game
yeah.
during spooky season.
I mean, to be fair, Halloween or October is pretty packed right now, though.
That is
Luigi's
true.
Mansion is invincible, as we can say. It's Luigi's Mansion 3 outselling the whole of the Metroid series or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what the silly stat relating to Luigi's Mansion 3 sales is, but it's silly.
I do remember talking about this, but I don't remember the details. Anyways, quick break for amiibos. Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, and Ganondorf are coming out shortly, along with Noah and Mio in a double pack, and Sora is getting an amiibo, which I think a lot of people thought he wasn't going to, but here we are. Yeah, because
That'll look
Disney.
nice.
Uh, and also, I'll just say,
Sora will be compatible with Disney Infinity, too.
dude, wouldn't that be rad?
I made that up. Don't take that seriously.
Legally, this is a joke.
Nice.
Uh, you don't care about amiibos, Hunter.
I do. I always like seeing them when they look cool and stuff, but
Yeah,
I've never actually pulled the trigger on buying them.
I did. I did
It's like,
manage to get the pre-order on the Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. Add her to
this is
my
like,
Zelda shelf.
it's like if I pull the trigger on ever buying a Zelda amiibo, when's it gonna stop? It's never gonna stop.
Right.
Because like, even if I limited myself to just that, it'd be like that's so many of them so often.
Yeah. And also, pre-orders are stupid. I went to go pre-order the Noah and Mio double pack, and everywhere pre-orders have already sold out. I didn't even know that they went up. So
Jeez, that's out of
that's
control.
that's life. It's another.
Don't mess with Xenoblade fans. They'll make your pre-ordering life a nightmare.
It'll be Pyra and Mithra all over again, dude. I'll have to go fight with Amazon when they come out.
Mm.
Can't wait. Anyways, second half of the direct. Started out with with F-Zero 99. This is a really cool concept for a battle royale game.
This upset a lot of people for some reason, and I'm like, I haven't had the chance to try it yet,
Me
but
either.
I'd be down to. I've screwed around with the original F-Zero on the Netflix
It
before.
seems it's I
I
mean,
like it well enough.
yeah.
I like that, the the thing I like about Nintendo's take on the battle royale things, the reason the Tetris is better than all of them, is that it all has to do. You're all always actively participating in whatever the game is,
Mhm.
which is the Achilles heel of all the shooters and other nonsense is that most of it's just running and hiding or looking for people.
Yeah.
And with this, similar to Tetris 99 or how Pac-Man was, and I didn't play the Mario one, but like it still seems like you're just actively participating in the race and just
Mhm.
trying to do better than the other people could. I'm not sure what manner of interference happens there. I doubt that you can I doubt that you could collide with every person that's playing. I don't think that'll be the case. I could be wrong. If if I'm wrong, tell me Falcon Punch in the comments. but like but like this really annoyed a bunch of people because they're like, "Oh, F-Zero comes back and it's a stupid battle royale game." But I'm like, I don't know, just play it for a little bit anyway to show
Yeah,
them that you're interested in F-Zero. At least I'm pretty sure it's free.
it is free. Well, free
They'll
if you
probably
have.
delete it in a couple of months anyway because they've done that to every one of them that isn't Tetris. I think.
Yeah, that's screwed up. But
Yeah.
and honestly, like F-Zero getting a battle royale, just I feel like it makes too much sense given that the series is all about death races, anyways. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting take on the concept. I'll probably try it out at some point. It is free if
Yeah.
you
It
have
feels
the
like
Nintendo Switch Online, anyways. So you're not losing
it feels
anything.
like it feels like someone had the idea of, oh, F-Zero would be a cool way to do this rather than just, oh, we need another battle royale game. What are we gonna make
Yeah.
it this time?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Try
Available
it.
to play now. If Hunter and I were smart, we would have played it for this episode, but we didn't. So tune in next week when we probably still haven't played it. Next up, Bandle City, a League of Legends story. I don't even remember this showing up.
I think this was like the town management one, which
I
was
have
why
no
the League
idea.
of Legends thing confused me at the end, if I'm remembering correctly. But, I don't really care much for town management games, and I really don't care for League of Legends.
Yeah.
So this one did nothing for me.
Like, I was typing out everything into this doc that we're using, and I was like, what the... I got to this one, I'm like, what the hell am I typing right now? This seems made up. I know all of these words, not in this order, though. Speaking of, Song of Nunu, November 1st. Hunter, you remember this?
I don't.
Cool.
I got nothing.
Me either.
I am. It is a blank.
I got nothing. Sorry to all the fans out there.
I'm sorry, Song of Nunu.
we
like your name, though.
We didn't do our due diligence. After that, WarioWare, Move It. I wish Ethan was here because he likes the WarioWare games.
He likes apparently every WarioWare game that isn't the last one.
Yeah,
but
which is fair.
Yeah, but the last time that they showed this, he said that he thought it looked interesting, so I suspected probably seeing a little bit more of it, Looks more in line with what WarioWare did before.
For sure. After that, Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes. I think this is just another JRPG.
So is this a new one, or is this another remake? Because I know Eiyuden Chronicles, I think recently had older ones be released to something modern.
I have no idea. This is another one of those, like, saga where I've heard the name, but I can't place anything about it.
The only reason I'm saying that is because I swear to God I've heard Eiyuden Chronicles recently, and I mean before this direct.
Yeah.
So I think they just recently released older games for modern systems. So
I was kind of thinking that too.
Decent move if that is indeed what happened.
It is a name that sounded familiar.
Get the old stuff out, garner interest maybe, and then boom, new game.
Yeah, just like F-Zero 99.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
F-Zero, the new F-Zero Switch 2 in 2056.
Eastward Octopia. Paid DLC for the Eastward game. I'm kind of surprised to see that this is getting DLC, because this game came out a few years ago.
It came out in 2021. I remember Eastward. It closed one of the Nindy shows.
Yeah.
I never played it. But it looked cool, and I just didn't make the time for it. It was goofy, because I looked down, and I'm like, that looks like Eastward. And I didn't think it would be, and then it was, and I'm like, what? Why is this game getting DLC? But okay, sure. I guess there's an extra thing to do if I ever get to that game.
The extent of my knowledge on Eastward is that I drafted it for the Fantasy League in 2021. It scored like an 80-some, and I'm like, cool. And never looked into it after that.
Yeah, it's a cool art style. I think it's a...
Yeah. After that, Wargroove 2. I don't know why I emphasized it like that. That was... Anyways, Hunter, do you remember this?
Oh yeah, Wargroove. It's another strategy RPG kind of. It's something that I'm pretty sure I've heard in secondary conversation to Fire Emblem fans, essentially. my general notion for the first game before I knew that they were making a second one was that if you enjoyed something like Fire Emblem, you probably would like this.
Huh.
I've never played it, but hey ho.
Interesting.
There's a new one if you like strategy RPGs.
Oh, that'll be out October 5th. But more importantly, the most important game to come out in October. Fuck Spider-Man. Fuck Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
Make way, folks. Dave the Diver coming to Switch.
It is.
End of
Why did they have to
October.
pick that day of all days? I would have settled for. I would settle for early October if they could make that happen, or I would have settled for like if it was early December, mid-November. Like, dude, I tell you, as much as I'm interested in Mario RPG and Persona, if they released that on November 17th, I would boot those both to the moon and beyond.
Make way for Dave.
But yes, Dave the Diver is coming to the Switch, and this excites me. The roller coaster of emotions I went through when I saw the screen, and then they hit me with the date. I'm like, yes, no, why that? Why then?
Oh, yeah.
The hilarity of the assessment of the direct was funny too, because Ethan messaged first talking about like his actual intelligent assessment of the direct. Kyle just typed in the last thing with the party emote, and I'm like, why they gotta move Dave? Why Dave the Diver have to come out here? That was my overriding emotion for the whole 40 minutes.
But yeah, October 26th for Dave the Diver Man, or it's also on Steam right now if you feel inclined, want your immediate gratification. Yeah. With Senior Dave.
Gratifying because you have to play with a computer.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Nah. Anyways, after that, we're almost at the end here. Couple more things. Mario Kart 8, the final wave of the booster pack course, is finally coming out.
I'm so happy that at the next Nintendo Direct I won't have to hear about this. Like, I have tolerated Mario Kart's existence for most of the life cycle of this console. It's like, I don't care about it, never bought it. And then they were like, oh, here's more. And I'm like, okay, fine, sure. It doesn't make any sense, but go for it. And I kept hearing about it over and over and over, and now suddenly I have an axe to grind with this game.
Yeah, so
I hope someone slashes all of your tires, Mario Kart.
So Hunter and I are like the two people on the planet that own a Nintendo Switch and don't own Mario Kart 8. So this kind of means nothing to us. 4 new characters coming out: Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah.
No, I mean specifically Peachette, because I remember Diddy, Funky,
and
Pauline.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was just kind of the footnote. But also, the only course
exactly is Peachette? There's already Baby Peach, isn't there? What does that? Is that the stage 2 evolution? Like Baby Peach, Peachette, and Peach? I don't understand.
No, this was like, I think it was for the Switch port of New Super Mario Bros. U. They added in the Super Crown power up, and Toadette was a power up, or Toadette was playable, and the Super Crown turned them into a Peachette. It was really weird. Do you remember Bowsette? That's how that got started.
No.
Anyways.
Well, another thing that
the internet ruined.
Another thing that the new Super Mario games have bladed the world with.
Yeah. ProZD has a skit about it. I'll share it with you after this episode, after we're done recording.
Cool.
And for some reason, the only course they showed was Daisy Circuit. I don't get it. But I don't know. We don't own Mario Kart 8.
Course. So you only get one.
Here's Funky Kong. Are you happy now? There's your new
That's the one
funky
that
mode.
that's the one that all you geeks who played Wii liked. Was funky.
It's true. He was pretty cool. As a geek who played Mario Kart Wii, he was pretty cool. Anyways, that's coming out holiday 2023. Second to last is Among Us. A new map is coming out. Neat. I've never played it.
I'm surprised it took them this long to get to a mushroom thing, since you know, fungus among us is a very silly and common phrase.
Yeah. Even Pokemon's done that. But yeah, we don't really have anything to say on Among Us. And unfortunately, Hunter has just walked away at the most important part. Oh, he's bringing in a dog. Oh, nope, he set the dog down. Oh, the dog is leaving? Question mark. Audio listeners, I'm so sorry, but this is more reason for you to come over to the video podcast so you can see dog very briefly. Hunter, how is dog? That's a different dog.
Yeah, that's my brother's pit bull. His name's Petey. He's
Petey, nice. Anyways, final thing to wrap up.
All of them off, man. I'm not sure what happened.
Anyways, final thing to send this direct home. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is getting a remake. Absolutely incredible. As one of the most hard to come by Nintendo GameCube games.
I'm so happy I can finally play this game.
I'm so
I've been
happy.
wanting to play this game. It's been like a solid 10 years now. I believe my first interest was first peaked. I watched Nintendo Capri Sun did a Let's Play, and I'm like, this game seems rad. And that was like 10 years ago. My God, I just felt my bones creak. Anyway, and since then, it has been out of my reach. I've played Bug Fables, which was inspired by that. I can't wait to still like Bug Fables more. That's going to be the funniest part of all of this. But I'm glad to finally have the chance to play this because it's always looked really cool. And,
Same.
Yeah, and you know, none of the following Paper Mario games that have come out on something easier to get my hands on have seemed like they were worth my time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I played Thousand Year Door last year, I believe. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think the game is super well done. Again, like Mario or like Super Mario RPG, I think it still holds up to today's standards. The backtracking can get a little bit annoying from time to time, but it wasn't a deal breaker on the whole game for me. I still really enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, backtracking can be. Backtracking is never fun, but you know, I tolerate it when the sum of the game balances it out.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Metal Gear.
Oh God, Metal Gear. I forgive
the inside of that. I saw the inside of that cave way more than especially since I've played that game multiple times. You know how many times I've made the trip from the building to from the tower to the building, back to the tower, back to the building, back to the tower in my lifetime? Probably more than a normal person should have.
See, I can forgive all the backtracking in Metal Gear because of how short the game actually is.
Yeah.
That's what gives it a pass in my mind. But anyways, yeah. Thousand Year Door remake. Absolutely fantastic choice. Seems odd that they didn't remake that they're just skipping over Paper Mario 1, but oh well.
I think they're probably just doing that because it's available on the extra tier of the Switch thing.
Yeah, that's like kind of what I was thinking too.
Which, fair enough. People, the reaction to Paper Mario 64 would probably be like, okay, cool, but where's Thousand Year Door?
Right.
So might as well skip the middleman, since this other one's already available anyway.
Just cut right to the quick, yeah. So what are before we get to state of play, what are overall thoughts on this, Hunter?
I thought it was pretty solid. There were definitely definitely things that didn't stick, as we've exhibited by my
Mm,
lack of being able to recall what some of this stuff was. But overall, it had, gave me enough things to look forward to
mhm.
next year. Some stuff still coming out this year that, in general, I probably won't really have the time to make time for, aside from the stuff that we already knew about. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, same.
I thought it was solid.
Yeah,
It was better than the one that happened this time last year.
oh yeah,
Farm Directs and Zelda.
yeah.
The Zelda trailer was great, but the rest of it was left something to be desired.
Uh, but last year did give us Octopath 2, so I
That was
I
the
I forgive
that
it for
was
that.
the that wasn't at that direct though. That it was the wasn't it wasn't it before?
I thought it was at that direct. Oh well, that was
Was it?
last year. Who cares?
Whatever. Who cares?
I really thought that it was last year though, but
Mm.
maybe I'm mistaken. I can go check my notes on last year though. So, but no.
I thought it was the direct before, like the one that came earlier in the year.
Mm, oh well.
But
Nah,
whatever.
it
Who
doesn't
cares?
matter. Nah,
Octopath's already out.
Octopath's out. It's
We
great.
won't.
Go play it.
Yeah.
State of play. We talked about the Nintendo Direct a lot longer than I thought we were going to.
We
Thankfully,
sure
the
did.
state of play had a lot less stuff.
It sure did.
But I feel like a lot of the stuff they showed in the state of play was of at least of higher quality than what
Um,
was than the majority of what was shown at the direct. Like it felt like a lot less shovelware and fluff is mostly
I
what
mean,
I'm
in
getting
some
at.
senses,
In
yeah.
some
But then
senses, yeah.
it also has Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, so the
Look,
scales have balanced.
it they can't all be winners, Hunter. It
Uh,
also opened with one of the most bizarre game trailers I've ever seen, and a total just absolute what the fuck am I watching? Is this even the state of play? What's going on? Bennett Foddy's Baby Steps.
it was hilarious because as soon as I saw the control of the game start happening, I'm like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be one of those things that goes viral on Twitch for like a month, like Bennett Foddy did.
Like Jump King,
And now,
yeah.
and now I have to go. Now I have to actually start specifying getting over it because now Bennett Foddy's making a new game. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
This one looks
This
more entertaining though. Like that other one,
mm,
the getting over it was dumb because it was like, oh, it was frustrating controls, and the dude's gonna wax like philosophical at me. Shut up, man. This one has a sense of humor. This is
yeah.
much better, in theory.
It, until that gets annoying after a while.
Yeah,
But hey, the mute button exists.
it sure does. You gonna try this one out? Do you think this will be one that we all pick up for a round of communal suffering like Jump King?
No. I learned my
No.
lesson.
Oh, don't be a coward. It'd be fun if we all did it.
I can't say the same for Ethan, but I've learned my lesson. I'm not playing Jump King again, but Walking King. Yeah, and that just had a 2024 release. No date given. After that, Roblox is coming to PlayStation 4 and not PlayStation 5. Make sense of that for me, Hunter.
I don't understand. I've never really like what Roblox is. Is it even more childish Minecraft? Is what it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's like that's one of the thing of all things that I've heard the name of but never looked at a day in my life. Roblox. Um, it is weird. PS coming to PS4 but not PS5. That's silly. I don't understand
Strange choice,
why.
yeah.
It's kind of like how I was confused that the Metal Gear collection is coming to PS5 and apparently not PS4. I don't get it, but
Yeah. PS4 just can't run MGS1. That's the
cannot
problem.
process the raw power that exists in Psycho Mantis's psychokinesis.
Dude, yeah, it doesn't have the haptic voodoo in its controller.
Oh man, that's gonna make that part so good. I didn't even think about that till now.
Ugh. Yeah, Roblox, October 10th. Who cares? Speaking of who cares, PlayStation VR. Ghostbusters is getting a video game. Also coming out October 26th. It has to compete with Dave the Diver. Nope.
Oh man,
That
dude.
game's dead on
Okay,
arrival.
Ghostbusters could be a console game, like a not VR game, and Dave the Diver would still steamroll it.
Oh, yeah.
But being a VR game, you're already shooting yourself in the leg because I don't think
Two
the
people
PS2
can play
VR or
it.
PSVR did very well.
Yeah. Oh, well. Second and last PSVR game they showed was Resi 4 VR 2, a second version of it. Seems like you're in the boat now.
The Resident Evil 4 remake VR.
Yeah.
Before it was just the old version of Resident Evil 4 got the VR.
Ah, okay.
That Mark Zuckerberg stole for himself.
But thanks, Mark.
And now you can play the remake version and without having to give money to Meta. So hey ho.
Yeah.
It looks like a really high quality game as far as you could play it front to back and whatnot. And Resident Evil 4 was pretty good already. I'm not going to get a VR headset for it because I could just play Resident Evil 4 again if I really wanted to.
Right.
Especially. I suspect maybe it would actually make the chainsaw guys threatening, but or any of the other big monsters, but
But yeah, you could just play Resi 4 again. And now there's DLC
now
coming out for it.
Reason to play it again if
Correct.
you so desire.
Later this week, Resi 4 Remake Separate Ways DLC is coming out. This is the Ada Wong's little side story for the game. And it's also going to include Ada and Wesker being added into the Mercenaries mode.
You see, I can't wait to eventually turn this on with the intention of playing the Separate Ways thing and just get distracted by Mercenaries for 2 days instead. But, yeah, this is cool. I'm glad that this is happening. Finally. I don't know. I was expecting them to at least, speak of it sooner, but
yeah.
It's like, I guess the worst case scenario would have been that it somehow didn't come out this year. And even then, I don't think that would have really mattered, but it's cool that it's coming out soon.
Yeah. And it'll be nice. It'll be nice to go back to Resi 4. That was a good game.
Yeah.
That honestly feels like a lifetime ago when it came out.
It sure does.
But yeah.
I'll leave it for like early October. Wind me into the spooky season.
Yeah, that. Dude, I'm right there with you. That'll be a good time to play that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'll finally be finished with Baldur's Gate by then.
I played OG4 in October last year. Replayed, I should specify. That wasn't the first time I played it.
Yeah.
But, so it'll be fun to play part of this time.
Dude, that'll be a good time. Yeah. You know what's not a good time? Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora.
Fast forward at this part.
I was watching it live, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I took a nap before the state of play, and when this came on, I was like, my brother had the control. I'm like, fast forward this, please.
Incredible. So, I have nothing to say about this.
This is the most bland sandwich of a video game you could ever possibly create. Avatar is super boring. Ubisoft is one of the most boring AAA developers currently. There's like nothing here except the world is kind of colorful. Congrats.
Way to go. After that, Ghost Runner 2. Also releasing October 26th. That's just a jam-packed day for video games.
I thought that was coming out in the earlier part of October. Jeez.
Nope. End of October. Demo came out for this. After the state of play.
That too.
Yeah, Dave the Diver. Killer of all video games. I need this game to do well. It's in my fantasy draft.
I'm sure it will do all right. I think that one got in like an 84.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. This one, the game just looked cool, and 2, the first one did well.
Oh, yeah, Ghost Runner. I played like half of the first one a
Mm,
couple weeks ago, and it was pretty good.
nice. Well, there's a
Some
demo
of the
available
boss
for
towards
this
the
one.
middle point of the game sucked though. Screw that tower thing.
Oh.
I hated that thing. But aside from that, the game was great.
Yeah. It looked cool from the trailers, so I'm excited for this one. This might this is probably gonna be one I don't play this year. Might be a start of next year kind of game.
Yeah, I definitely don't have time for this one this
Oh,
year.
nope.
Sorry, Ghost Runner.
We got Dave's to dive.
It's true.
After that,
Alan's awake.
Alan's to
Spider's
wake,
the man.
and Mario's to wonder. After that, new PS5 cover plates. I think they were like blue, red, and silver. They looked neat, but I also spaced out
I
for all
thought that these
this.
colors were already on the market
So did
for
I.
faceplates.
So did I.
So I'm confused. Now this is like the most subtle of changes to the shading.
I don't know, dude.
I
I'm
was like, are
still
you telling
rocking
me I can?
basic bitch white over there, so
Yeah, I've still
these
got the
plates mean
Matei
nothing
black
to me.
ones from the third party market here. So, and like as much as I like the color red, I like the straight black console here. So I'm
Mm,
gonna. It's just funny because it's like they had a different like adjective on the red than they had for the red controller, where they called it like cosmic red for the controller, and this was like volcanic red. I'm like, are you telling me this is an actually red shade this time and not the weird magenta that you've got for me? Because if it is, I'm gonna be a little annoyed that you didn't make the controller that way.
but yeah, those are out now. I think. Who cares? Speaking of who
The,
cares,
the
Helldivers
weirdest thing they
2.
described.
Sorry, go on,
Yeah,
Hunter.
this game. I was gonna say the weirdest thing about those faceplates, they described it as like earthy, which
Yeah,
I don't think of red and think earth really. When you say earthy, I think of like brown and green
green.
and other brown. You
Brown
know?
too. But yeah, I guess those are available now. Helldivers 2.
So
I zoned out on this
I played the
trailer.
first one of these for a brief period of time years ago at this point, and it was fun and silly enough. Uh, this one still looks like it's maintaining a certain sense of humor. I did not like they did the weird thing for this video where it seemed like they had the people
The
fake
the voice call
talking.
trailer, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
hate
like that.
those.
Ubisoft loved these when they had E3 presentations, and they were never good. They
I
were
hate
always
them.
stupid.
I thought we were done
Okay,
with this bit.
I'm like, okay, if I was like, if my friend ever tried to talk to me like this while we were playing video games, I would karate chop him in the throat,
Yeah, no one
regardless
talks
of whether
like
we were
that.
in the same room. I would find a way to do it.
I would go
But
to his house and karate chop him.
but as far as the actual content of the game, it was this one shifted the perspective, which I probably mentioned the first time that it was shown off, but because the other one was like a top-down kind of twin sticky. I don't remember if that's how it actually played, but that was like a more top-down view. Where this one's the straight third-person thing. Some things I did think were cool. I specifically remember the one guy like shooting the missile launcher, and his teammate was like reloading it for him.
Ooh.
So it seems like they're still kind of keeping in spirit with the. It's like difficult to a silly degree, where it's like, you know, take joy in the suffering of your party
Oh.
whilst you struggle against this kind of deal. And I think that might still be the case until you've like suddenly clicked the switch where you're like, oh yes, I am this game's master now.
Ah.
We are great at this. But I don't know. Did they have a date or just a
It was
2024
just
timeframe?
2024.
I don't know. I could see this being one that they're like, oh, extra tier of PlayStation thing.
Mm.
You can have this, which, you know, maybe would have been a nice notion before they upped the price, but now it depend on whether or not it depends on whether or not my current subscription runs out by then.
Ah. After that, another Spider-Man 2 trailer.
I'm glad this trailer wasn't very long. I was
Yeah.
kidding. I was because when they first showed Spider-Man 2 again, I'm like, oh, I don't really think we need this,
Nah.
but
This was kind of just like a
it was
general
ultimately
overview
harmless.
trailer.
Yeah, it just showed off some features and stuff.
Yeah.
Which that fast travel transition, pretty slick.
Mm.
Where it's like it cuts to them already in motion on a swing. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But
But yeah,
the
I
myriad
think
of oh,
I was gonna say I think we've seen everything we need to see about
enough.
this game.
Yeah.
Just release the damn thing already. Oh. Yeah. So that'll be out October 20th. All right, Hunter. You're up on this one.
Dude,
Tales of
I
Arise
popped off.
Beyond the
I think this is the
Dawn
most I've popped
DLC.
off for anything that day. Was I heard I heard the words Dana and Rena, and I'm like,
Like,
excuse me?
wait.
I wasn't I
Hold
wasn't
up.
expecting I was not expecting Tales of Arise to get DLC of any
Yeah.
variety. I didn't even know what this was from. And I'm like, is they make it because Tales games have occasionally gotten sequels.
Hmm.
Exilia got a -2, I believe.
Yeah. The Symphonia
So if they were
games were a duology.
so yeah, I was like, I was unsure of what it was. I've since reconciled the information to be it's a DLC.
Yeah.
I'm down. I loved Tales of Arise.
Yeah.
It probably won't be super long. It comes out in November, so happy birthday to me. Yeah, this just made me perhaps unreasonably happy because I don't really think the Tales of Arise is the kind of story that needed more to be put on it, especially in a weird DLC thing. But I'm gonna play it anyway because I like that game. I want to hear that sick violin song again.
Oh, well, I'm happy for you, man. And yeah, it is a bit
Yeah,
odd that because this game released back in 2021, right?
sure did.
So it's
Game of the year.
just a bit strange to see it come back 2 years later with DLC.
Yeah,
But happy for the people who are happy. Tales games are cool.
yeah, they are. Tales of Arise was really cool.
I really wish that game had a better demo. Maybe I would have bought it, but oh well.
Yeah, it's never too late to just buy it now.
You wanna slide me the money?
Okay,
Is
sure.
is this one of those games like Hades?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd buy someone if Tales of Arise if they asked for it.
You don't need to buy that for me. Not right now, anyways. I have too much other stuff going on.
Yeah, I'd wait.
Yeah,
The schedule is full.
very, very, very cramped. So after that, Honkai Star Rail got its release date for PS5, October
Oh, my soul
11th.
left my body for this because I hate Koyoverse. I
Yeah,
didn't fast forward this one. I think I just turned to my brother and talked smack about Genshin Impact and
yeah.
Hoyoverse's existence for a little bit.
It
And
was
then
a
when it
short
was
enough
done,
trailer where it didn't really matter. It wasn't like Avatar where it went on for 4 minutes.
oh, is that how long Avatar was?
It's how long it felt.
Uh,
Uh, but
but
yeah,
yeah.
Honkai's coming out. Very cool. Whatever. Speaking of very cool, whatever, Foam Stars is getting an open beta from September 29th to October 1st. I'm actually going to be gone when that beta is happening, so I can't even play it if I wanted to.
This I remember during the summertime when Ethan started talking about hearing people mention how they were like, "Oh, we got to play Crash Team Rumble and it was all right." This was also thrown around as, "Oh, we got to play this and it was all
Yeah,
right."
I
And very
remember that.
similarly, I do not trust that
I don't
at
believe
all.
it. Honestly, this looks like just the most generic kind of team shooter game. It looks like it's trying to
Well,
copy what Splatoon had without
yeah, it
anything
looks
that
like
made Splatoon
Splatoon,
interesting.
but with like soap
Yeah,
instead of paint.
and some of the most generic character designs I've ever seen.
Yeah. At first, like they dropped the first trailer before they showed the gameplay. You know, they have that like that I don't remember this trailer the non-gameplay part.
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke right now, but it looked like it was going to be a generic hero shooter thing instead of a Splatoon game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when it changed to Splatoon, I was perplexed, but also still very unimpressed.
Yeah. And like as a like Splatoon maps, it's very clean, clear cut what you need to do and where you're supposed to go. But like just looking at the trailers for this game, everything just looks like a mess with no clear direction for
Yeah,
for map layout. I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe it'll be a great video game and we're just haters. But
maybe
from
it's
how it looks,
possible.
it doesn't look good or really all that fun.
I mean, to be fair, like Splatoon's not a bad idea to try and cop for the other
Right.
systems because like it is only on Nintendo to be fair. So like this concept is better than trying to copy just the typical first person shooter team shooter thing, but
Yeah.
also this doesn't look like it's going to be super great.
Right.
So
But yeah, beta's happening at the end of September if you're interested. Or if you're even curious about the game, it's open. Just download it and you can try it out all weekend. I can't because I'm
yeah.
I'm away in Wisconsin that weekend. But maybe you
Oh,
can. And I'm not like Ethan and I don't want to take my console with me on vacation.
dude, the PS5 is a chungus, and I would not want
Yeah.
to move. Dude, I've refused to just move it downstairs sometimes when people are
Same.
telling me I need to bring my PlayStation to a different room. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I don't trust moving it. Like that's too valuable. You stay right there. You
Yeah,
don't
it's staying
move.
put. But yeah, we have one
Yeah.
more trailer to go.
Wrapping up the state of play. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Got a huge trailer. Lot of information
Indeed.
shown. Cloud was riding a
Oh my God,
Segway. Red 13 was riding a green chocobo. Vincent Valentine may or may not be voiced by Matthew Mercer.
he sure did show up. Honestly, Matt Mercer makes sense. I thought briefly that it was like Crispin Freeman, which would have been a perfect choice because he was Alucard
Oh
in
yeah.
the that anime. But
In Helsing, yeah.
uh, yeah, but Matt Mercer, great choice as well. It's very in line with his brand of making people sound super attractive.
Yeah. It's what Vincent deserves, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot in this trailer. A lot of stuff was shown, a lot of story beats, a lot of silly other stuff.
Yeah.
Just a lot.
A lot to take in. I think the key thing here is it seems that they have the golden saucer. That's exciting.
Well, that'll be
I was like,
that'll be neat.
I was like, it certainly has to be in this part, right? But also, I was like, who knows? Because that's the general idea of this. This certainly should happen, but who knows?
But who's
But
to
I think
say?
the key thing to take away is that it seems like Ethan has mentioned a few times that he thought that part two would be kind of more, they would kind of make it more linear in a similar way to how they made seven part one linear
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, and they just kind of had the couple of chapters that opened up. I don't think that's the case this time. I think that the world seems to be pretty open and explorable for I mean, I could be wrong. It seemed like that was the case
Oh, for sure.
from what they were showing there. Like they were showing you flying around on the chocobo and stuff.
Hmm. I think they showed the
And
car also.
yeah, they showed the car, yeah, and all of that. So, they gave us the date, February 29th. Leap year is a hilarious date for this game. It's
Yeah.
perfect, honestly.
Honestly, I forgot it was a leap year next year. So I saw the
Yeah.
29th date and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that's neat.
It feels very on brand for this game.
It really does.
And like, a delay wouldn't hurt my feelings because I probably won't be finished with Persona by then.
Hmm.
I don't know, but my God, it's so dumb that Persona. What they did this last time. Persona Royal and
Oh
Final Fantasy VII
yeah.
came out within like 2 weeks of each other.
Hey, at
Maybe
least
within a week. I don't remember. At
at
least
least
Persona Royal was already like most of the game was already out. I
yeah.
had already played that.
At least there's like a month of separation between these two.
Yeah.
FE or Persona 3 is at the start of the month with 7 ending closing the month.
And like Persona 3 is on the shorter end compared to the other ones, isn't it? Surely they
At
can't
least the
make that
original was.
surely they can't make that 100 hours.
There's no way.
Nope.
No, I think P3 is like I think my playthrough was like 40 or 50.
Oh, I could do that. I
It
could do
is
that.
definitely
Yeah.
on the shorter end, especially compared to P5.
Yeah.
Ugh. But
But yeah,
no, this
all
Rebirth
that stuff.
trailer was so fucking sick.
Oh yeah, it
There
looked
was a
great,
lot to
man.
take
Like
in.
every few minutes or every few seconds, I was like, "Oh, look at that!"
Mm,
The segue cracked me up
the
to no
segue
end.
was so good. Cloud with his little tourist getup.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like the general. And what they said that later they said that it would be like the halfway point of the story
Hmm.
is where it's ending, which nebulous, because well, I think I know what he's talking about, but that was also the end of the first disc,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I guess to be fair, disc 2 didn't really have that much going on story wise.
Hmm.
Uh,
And I'd imagine I haven't played FF7, but I imagine Disc 3 would have just been like the final bit of story along with all the other side quests that open up at the end.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on because they showed they have not made very much effort to hide the shenanigans that happened at the end of the first part. So I don't know. Sucks to be anyone who didn't play part one and wanted some of that to be a surprise, but hey ho, or you're
Mm.
just really confused, which you know people who've played the game are probably really confused.
I know the story of the original, and yeah, I'm a bit confused.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
I'm
It's
I'm really excited.
it's certainly got my attention.
It does. And like FF7 remake wasn't one of my favorites, but I still enjoyed my time with the game, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to part 2. And
that's good to
all the
hear.
new characters they're adding in. Also, Yuffie is back as a playable party member. If you didn't play the Intergrade game on PS5, Red 13 is going to be
Yeah,
playable. Kate Sith and also Vincent are
yeah,
also gonna be there, which is most of the party. I think we're just missing Sid now.
yeah. Which he should be in this version or in this part, but who knows? Maybe because they said some of the stuff is going in a different order.
Yeah.
Later in the same thing where they mentioned how it was going to be at the halfway end at the halfway point,
Hmm.
but so maybe Sid is someone who gets like booted off to the part 3, or maybe he's the Yuffie DLC of this game. I don't know. I'm just happy that's not Vincent.
Same.
It's like as much as I would absolutely buy the Vincent DLC if that's the route they went.
I
I'm
also just want him
much more
now.
I'm much more pleased that he's just
Here.
imminent. You know.
Yeah. My boy deserves it.
Yeah,
But
good
yeah.
stuff.
And I think that's gonna do it. Final thoughts?
You know, State of Play was solid, better than most of them tend to be.
Hmm.
Maybe not as good as the one that kicked off the summer last year, but definitely better than the one
The last
we
few
got
we've had, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is better than the showcase from the middle of this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's telling.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
A lot of good stuff to look forward to.
yeah. Didn't show Stellar Blade, which was something I was thinking might show up here.
Hmm.
But aside from that, good stuff.
Good
All around.
stuff indeed.
Yeah. What's
Anyways,
crazy? Final Fantasy VII came out in 2020,
yeah.
right? All these other games that came out in 2020 that we've suspected will get sequels, or if like Ghost of Tsushima, for example, that's definitely going to be coming at some point as a second one.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VII, of all things, getting its second part before that.
It is crazy to
A little
think that
weird.
that's the one that's striking first, especially
Yeah.
after everything we've said about it on this show, like it getting pushed back to like 2025 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh,
But, you know,
hindsight's a
maybe,
bitch.
maybe part 3 will hit while I'm still in my early 30s.
Yeah. With any luck, it'll still come out on the PS5.
Yeah. I actually think that's absolutely possible at this rate.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And that's also something we forgot to mention. There's also a digital pre-order for Rebirth, which comes with part 1 as well, if I'm
Oh
understanding
yeah,
that correctly.
that's like the sickest pre-order value I've ever seen in my
Legit.
life.
And it's like
If you haven't
$70 for
already
both of
played,
those.
yeah, if you haven't already played the other one or don't already have it,
That's
that is
genuinely the best deal you could ever get.
yeah.
Oh.
Like the only thing that might be annoying is if you were trying to play the first one before the second one came out, but you know what, you can just play them both
Mm.
back to back if you really need to.
That's the other thing I was wondering about. I don't know if they've said this. I haven't paid attention to any like interviews they might have done, but have they mentioned how progression is gonna work? Like starting in part 2, like are all of your characters just gonna start from 0, or are you gonna be able to transfer in your save file? That's something that I've been curious about how they're gonna handle it.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't suspect like because like at the end of the other game you had already been able to do things like casting Firaga and stuff by
Hmm.
then, and I don't think they'll let that happen, but also I don't think they'll set you completely back to square one.
Yeah, they'll probably give you like a starter pack of materia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or like maybe your materia will start over, but you'll have much more to work with this time.
Right.
Like all of the materia goes back to level 1, but you have a lot of it. I
Hmm.
don't know.
But then what do you do about all like the weapon skill trees that you've been upgrading?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that I've been I've been hesitant about with doing it like this, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. It's gonna
They'll
sound
figure
weird
it
to
out.
say, but I trust Nomura and his team to do this game well.
I think it's funny. I think it'll be good. I also think they're being sneaky, and I don't trust them in that aspect. But we'll see. I can't wait to see what they do.
It will be
It is
interesting. A
captivating, if nothing else.
a 2-disc PlayStation 5 game.
I read that
Never
again,
thought I'd see the
and
day.
I'm like, my God, that's hilarious. I'm gonna need to like genuinely by the end. I have to beat Persona before that comes out because I'm not gonna
You're
have
not gonna
room
have
if I don't.
room.
I have to beat like everything I want to play before February, the end of February next year. I'm not gonna have room.
So I can just delete Baldur's Gate, get rid of 100 GB game, trade it for another. Oh,
Oh my God, like crazy the file sizes on these games these days. It's out
legit.
of control.
Oh. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for us. This episode went on a lot longer than I expected it to.
Yeah.
We're at an hour and a half right now. I think that's a good place to call it. We were talking before this episode, and I'm like, I don't care if we get 50 minutes out of these two directs. Whatever we get, we get.
The recapping the things kind of bits always go on longer than we think they will.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Short of like, I think the ones that wouldn't go on as long as this, we kind of already, maybe subconsciously know we wouldn't have much to say about, like the opening night live.
Yeah.
Where, we kind of mentioned that, and we're like, oh, the week before, we're like, oh, no one cares about this anyway, so. And then we were like, oh, there were maybe 2 things here that were cool.
Right. But now a lot of good stuff shown at both directs. A lot of good stuff to look forward to in the coming year.
It's true. And hilariously, despite how good this PlayStation thing was, still don't really know. Well, they said it was third-party partners, but still, it's comedic to me that we now have this, and I still don't know what to actually expect from PlayStation themselves after Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is crazy, but hopefully we'll get some word on some stuff coming up soon. Maybe we'll finally see Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon 3, maybe another Rack game.
I don't think Horizon 3 is quite gonna
not time yet.
I think that might be the end of the console kind of ordeal.
I could see that happening.
Although, whenever it does come out, keep your eyes peeled for the same week, because Generational Classic will be out right next to it.
FF7 Remake Part 3.
That'd be insane.
That would be very stupid. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us for this week. Thank you all for listening. Dave the Diver 2. Oh god. The sequel we need, but not the one we deserve.
It's true. We probably don't even deserve
the first one.
One we have.
Dave is too pure for our world. Anyways, let me end this episode, Hunter. That's
fine.
That's all. That's gonna be all for this one. Thank you all for listening / watching. We'll be back next week. Same time, same channel. Ethan should be back. I don't know. He messaged us earlier and said that he was feeling sick. So who knows? Who knows what's wrong with him? But hopefully he'll be back. Yeah. We've got video games to talk about.
He has to fight off the scale disease.
Oh no. He's going to be turning into Lizard. Lizard from Mortal Kombat, which we're going to be talking about next week. Because Hunter will have actually played it. Whatever. I don't play Mortal Kombat. I think I might have been thinking of the guy from Soul Calibur.
Lizard Man.
Lizard Man, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were referencing Spider-Man.
No. No.
That has the lizard.
Oh, yeah, the lizard.
Who's been showing off in trailers recently.
Dude, there's too many reptiles. I can't keep track of all of them. Anyways. Yeah. We'll talk about all your favorite lizards next week. We got Mortal Kombat, which has a lizard in it. We have Axolotl, which is lizard adjacent. And there probably some third thing. Oh, perfect! Lizards!
Yeah, lizards.
All you lizard friends, come back next week if you want to hear us talk about lizards.
I'm pretty sure there's a gator in Gumbrella, too.
Oh my god, dude.
Looking anime, too. Lizards are... Get every lizard except for Dino Crisis up in here, because Capcom hates me.
Dude, and my character in Baldur's Gate is a Dragonborn.
Oh.
We've got every lizard imaginable. Come back next week if you like lizards. And speaking of lizards, Ethan will be back next week too, probably. He's gonna hate me for that one, but I don't care. It's the outro. No one watches this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Until then, have an awesome week. And yeah, see you later.
Toodaloo.